Again, I saw on the website that you had a 1,440 mile round trip to see Mississippi State and visit Starkville. Sort of, what was that whole journey like? I mean, just quickly for context, for people in the UK who are watching this, that's essentially the equivalent of driving from Brighton, which is basically near where I live, up to John O'Groats in Scotland, which is like the furthest part of Scotland, and then driving all the way back down to Brighton. So just for context for people out there.
Yeah, I realized I should have brought my miles to kilometers calculator here so I could give some context to all these numbers I'm throwing out. Sorry to those listening, but so the trip actually didn't start off very well. So I had just turned around my LSU trip, and it poured rain on me at Tulane the night before LSU and at LSU. So I came back to Austin, worked a couple of days, and then I was sick as a dog. I couldn't sleep at night. My eyes were halfway shut. I was sneezing, coughing. It was so bad because I was sitting on that rain and I caught something.
Yeah.
And then Thursday comes around and it's time for me to leave. And my first leg was from Austin, I was living at the time, to Houston. I was going to catch a game at Houston. They were hosting Tulsa. So it's about a 2.5 hour drive, not that bad. So I got there, parked. I was just feeling miserable. It was hot that day. It was humid that day. And I was just sick. So I did my usual thing, walked around the stadium a couple times, met some of the fans, got a picture with the mascots and, all that stuff, and was documenting it. And then I went into the game, and Houston was getting their doors blown off by Tulsa, which was kind of like, okay. And De'Aaron King, who's now the quarterback over at Miami, prolific Heisman front runner, was playing for Houston at the time. So people are kind of like, what's going on here? And I was just so sick that I left in the third quarter. Wow. I don't leave. I don't leave these games early. And I left in the third quarter because I was just done. I couldn't do it. And I actually missed Houston orchestrating this huge 26-point fourth quarter comeback and winning the game, which was regrettable. But I went to the hotel and I knocked out. Sure. So this whole week leading up to the trip to go to Mississippi State, my mom was like, don't go.
Yeah.
And my fiance, who was my girlfriend at the time, she's like, don't go. Like, just eat, eat the cost that you spent already, whatever, like stay home, rest. Yeah. But I was like, nope, I'm going. So then it's another 8 hours, I think, from Houston to Starkville. Again, sick. I've had more medicine in my system than I think I've ever had in my life. But we got there, and the game was great. The game day was awesome. I had so much fun, even though I was getting a little bit better, but I was still pretty sick. And then that drive home that I mentioned earlier about my windshield wipers quitting on me wasn't great. So the trip there and the trip back was certainly, I don't want to say a burden, but it was a trip. But it was super worth it for the game and the game day experience that I got. I wouldn't change a thing. Although I suppose it would have been better if I wasn't sick.
Yes. And the tailgating you enjoyed in Starkville as well?
Yeah, so their tailgating is really high class. They have leather couches. They have caviar. I'm probably not, but caviar and these elaborate spreads. And, the Mississippi schools take pride in having these really kind of highbrow tailgating. It's not, there is some of this within students and stuff, but it's not, grab a light beer and crush it over your face and chug it. And it's very wine and hors d'oeuvres and fine whiskey and stuff, but they have a good time. And so I was walking around and, a t-shirt and shorts, and the SEC is famous for getting dressed up to go to game day. And I'll be honest, I don't do that. I do a lot of walking. I'm not wearing khakis and a polo. So, I felt a little out of place. But again, the fans are super nice. There's a specific tailgate that has a sign that says Ole Miss sucks. and they let me take a picture with their banner, which is funny but also awkward when I wind up in Oxford for a game day.
Sure.
But yeah, their tailgating it's not as much a big field party as it is, a wine and cheese kind of night.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And Starkville as a place to visit, was that an interesting place?
Yeah. So if you're going to go to Starkville, you're going to Starkville. You don't just pass through, you're not, oh, I think I'll go on my way. No. You got to go out of your way, because it is way, way out of it. It's up there with Lubbock in terms of away from everything. Maybe
Right.
Memphis is the closest city, but that still might be 3 hours away. But the town of Starkville is so charming. It's this classic Southern college town. They have terrific barbecue there. I was berated on Twitter about saying that the Little Dewey had good barbecue. I guess the locals see that as like that's not good barbecue. Let me show you good barbecue. I enjoyed it. That was fine. But it really is just kind of this charming, small Southern town where the people are nice. It's a Southern town out of a storybook, exactly what you'd expect when you think of the South, the Southern United States, and these small towns. And I thought it was a great college town. So is it worth a visit? Yes, if you enjoy college towns and that kind of stuff. If you're just a tourist or a casual fan, I probably wouldn't go that far out of your way for it. You might be a little disappointed. Sure. But people like me who really enjoy the college town and really enjoy kind of the quaint atmosphere and good barbecue, Starkville is a great place for you.
Sure. And would you return maybe to see an Egg Bowl there one day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For an Egg Bowl, absolutely. I'll be honest here. I'm going to make State and Ole Miss fans pretty angry. Wherever that Egg Bowl is, be it in Oxford or Starkville, I'm wearing the home team's colors. I'm not going into enemy territory with that one.